Hola amigos de TV Agro.
Hello friends of TV Agro. Today we are here in the municipality of Choachi, to the east of Bogota, Choachi, Cundinamarca, the municipality that has it all. Today we'll be presenting a little bit of the environmental conservation, history, culture. My name is Manuel Mora. I will be accompanying you today in Ecotourism Ventana de la Luna. I will be accompanying you, telling you about the history and culture of our region. And the most important thing is conservation. The history that has been lived during all the years, and here in this royal road, we are going to find a story for each stone that we see that was placed by our Muisca Indians under slavery and suffering. Friends of TV Agro, welcome. Join us today to live this experience.
Amigos de TV Agro, nuestro tema de conservación.
Friends of TV Agro, in our theme of conservation, we find here the quiches or bromeliads, which are the ones we can see at the back, which we conserve and carry the traditions. Today we remember the traditions that come from our Muisca Indians, who inhabited this region. We know them as quiches, for the indigenous people, especially the Muiscas. Their word is a Chibcha language, just like this plant that we found that is known as a quiches. We find many words today as a changua, the Chicha, and our municipality where we are today, which is Choachi. In this conservation, we see the use that they gave to these plants, taking a leaf like the one I have in my hand and using it to make a type of wrap, corn cob wraps. What is their raw material and their fundamental materials? It was a corn cob, which is a tender corn, the curd obtained from the milk of the cows, and the panela. It allows us to make a kind of cone as I'm going to show you right now. And in this cone, the dough was poured inside, and it allows us to seal in this way, which gives us a quiche leaf wrapper or three-pointed wrapper.
En hoja de quiche o envuelto tres puntas. Son plantas epífitas que se adhieren a otros árboles para poder crecer, para poder sobrevivir.
They are epiphytic plants that adhere to other trees to be able to grow, to be able to survive, but they do not feed on them like the ones we have known or heard about, the so-called parasites. They keep water inside them. They fill with water. The leaves that are already left over from the tree that fall dry fall inside them, decompose, become fertilizer, and that is what allows them to become food, so that they can continue growing and continue surviving. A fundamental part of the ecosystem, because when we have dry seasons, sunny seasons, many snails, types of worms, or the birds themselves come to look for the water source to live there from the water they store.
Continuando con nuestros recorridos de Ecoturismo Ventana de la Luna.
Continuing with our tour of Ecotourism Ventana de la Luna, here next to me we find this rock in which we see its particularity, and is to see how a plant grows on it, which shows us an image of moorland and the importance of the conservation of themselves. They manage a symbiotic relationship between the plant and the moss that we see covering its roots, where the plant provides all the necessary shadows and moss provides the moisture it needs. If the plant dies, the moss dies, and if the moss dies, the plant will die. It shows us clearly what is an image of moorland. Because an image of moorland, because they are constituted and formed on rock, the high parts of moorland are made up of thin parts that do not exceed 2 or 3 centimeters thick and begins to grow vegetation. Vegetation designed to convert all that fog that we have seen and that we will see during the trail into water. They are designed to make condensation, to keep all the impurities. Since all this fog that we see going up, that we are going to see during the program, comes by evaporation from lower altitudes, from 1,000 meters or less, specifically looking for these high parts of the paramo. The plants like the frail Jones that we'll find later, they keep all the chemicals, all the impurities that they are collecting and return them back through our streams, through our water sources, allowing many lives to feed again. This is the importance of the conservation of the paramos, of the conservation of the highlands and our water factories, which are the ones that provide us with life.
Bueno, amigos de TV Agro, vamos a continuar con nuestro recorrido.
Well, friends of TV Agro, let's continue with our tour in the secondary forest. This forest is known as secondary forest because at the time it was cut by some people here in the region, because for them it was the economic livelihood, the livelihood for the family, because there was not as much income as now. They did not have many opportunities, so they saw an opportunity in the trees, in the forest,
Los árboles en el bosque, de talarlo para sacar el carbón vegetal.
to cut them down to extract charcoal. They took this charcoal to take it to Bogota and sell it to the Santa Fe de Bogota kitchens, which were in Santa Fe of Bogota. This was the way they went up to the city, and there they sold this product.
La ciudad y allí pues vendían este producto. También para ellos el ingreso económico.
They also had cows, pigs, chickens, and all these products were the ones they took to Bogota to sell them there and thus be able to bring sustenance to the family.
Hacia Bogotá para también venderlos allá y poder así traer el sustento a la familia.
Amigos de TV Agro, hemos llegado
Friends of TV Agro, we have arrived here to the part of the Camino Real, a very important part of conservation, a Muisca history, a cultural history of the bridle paths, also so known road that communicates from the Colombian capital to some places of Meta. By the same we can arrive as the first town finding Choachi, Cundinamarca, passing to Fomke, from Fomke going up to the Chingaza National Natural Park, and from Chingaza allows us to descend to Villa Vicencio, Meta, a road that was the main way to get from this territory of all the east, Cundinamarca and Meta, to communicate with our great capital, Bogota. A road that grows paved in its entirety, and in each rock we find a lot of history. It was traced by the Muisca Indians. For him, they lived the running of the land great work that they did, crossing the 7 sacred lagoons that are distributed between Cundinamarca and Boyacá.
Por él también nos comunica hacia la laguna de Ubaque, el segundo lugar.
It also communicates us to the Laguna de Ubaque, the second place, the second most important oratory for the Muiscas, the Muisca Indians. A part was traced and was emperado under the Spanish slavery, was traced by the Muisca Indians, but was paved by themselves under slavery. By this same road passed very important things, as it was the piano and the bells for the church of the municipality of Choachi. It was the main road where all the peasantry went up, all the agriculture before there was a paved road, the road we know today. It also gave way to transport all kinds of food, everything they cultivated, such as corn, passion fruit, eggs.
Cada camino de herradura en él pasaban todo lo que es.
Each bridle path on it passed the horses, the mules, each one with an approximate weight of between 130 and 150 kilos. Each person carrying a catabre, especially to carry chickens, which is a suitcase that they made in stick and tied it with feek, where they carried the chickens, and each person carried a weight of approximately between 20 125 kilos. They tell us that they met in the main square of the park around 5 o'clock in the afternoon and began to walk to do so throughout the night to reach Bogota in the morning hours. The market opened with the light of day, where they sold all their products. Also, all this journey, all this way, as we can see in this part paved, they walked barefoot. They always did breaks. They wore their espadrilles tied to the right of the waist, which before arriving to each town or city, there was a small water crescent, which they called as the lavapatas. They came to wash their feet and put on their espadrilles, which they used them simply for important events like going to this market, going to a mass, or any kind of ceremony.
Amigos de TV Agro, hasta aquí los acompañamos el día de hoy.
Friends of TV Agro, this is how far we will accompany you today. I hope you like it a lot, you enjoyed it a lot, and we close this chapter today with this beautiful place where we are. Do not forget to visit us on social networks like Ecotourism Ventana de la Luna on Facebook, Ventana de la Luna on Instagram, and www.ventanadelaluna.com, our website. And most importantly, friends, if you want to communicate with us so that we can provide you with more information, you can do it through the number 314-361-6182. So you can call us, so you can write us, and we can send you more detailed information so you can come and know these beautiful places and all that is in it to be able to live it, to be able to enjoy it.